Hey folks, welcome to Maverick Gunworks. Today I'm going to talk about a Glock Model 45 in 9mm. Okay, it's not a 45 caliber, it is a Model 45. Right. And here we have a version of that handgun. You can see that the chamber is empty. Right. I'm going to pull our magazine out and go over this thing a little bit. What I see right now, right off hand, it's got the same features as the Model 19. That is Gen 5 with your ambient controls on. You've got your ambient slide control on both sides of it, and like all the other Glock stuff, you're able to change your magazine release from right to left hand if you wanted to. And with this one, we have an MOS plate on top where you can put your adapter plates and be able to mount a red dot or little optic on top of the gun. And if you do that, you keep in mind you may want to also change your standard front and rear sights to a taller sight to kind of co-witness and match up with your optic. And other than that, I can see that from what I've measured and looked at compared to other guns, basically what you've got is the Model 19 on the top and the 17 grip is what it amounts to. So your 17 gun is a little longer barrel, but this one has the same barrel length, same slide as the 19. Try not to get confused. But with the extended grip down here, we have a little bit larger capacity. So we're looking at 17 round magazines come standard with these. And you can see with you've got a little bit of a flare on the bottom of the magazine well. Makes it easy to get your magazine in and out. And it's typical with any style gun that Glock makes like this. Also, you can notice that you have a good grip as far as the texturing goes, and it's typical with the Glock stuff too. You got a good stippling on it right from the factory, and actually I found that these lend themselves to stippling after the fact if you wanted to have them even laser cut or some sort of different stippling pattern on it. The plastic they use works real well for that kind of thing. Other than that, let's go through and a couple of the features. I know you've got a good right and left hand thumb relief on the side of the frame here. Same thing on both sides, so it works well for right or left handed shooters again. Also we have on this one the here I go again, a Picatinny cut on the bottom of this frame, so you can mount your optic on there. And you also have a little bit of undercut under the trigger guard here. Gives you a higher purchase on the firearm to be able to control it. But I know I found in working with these over the years that it's also is advantageous a lot of times for folks to come in here and cut a little bit deeper. We round this a little bit more, get your finger up slightly more, and for a particular size of hand, depending on what you're doing with the gun, it could give you a better feel also. All right. And with that, let's go ahead and take it apart and show you a little bit about field stripping and how to clean it up here. All right. And we're going to double check, make sure that the gun is empty for sure. What I like to do is put the back of the frame against the web of my hand here, and my fingers can pull back slightly on the frame. We can pull down, you have to pull down both tabs on the takedown tabs on the side of this frame. Pull those down at the same time. Right, pull them down like this. Alright, then your slide will come forward. You have to pull the trigger to release it. Come forward slightly, and then, let's see, forward slightly, you lift the front a little bit, and then the back will come off. Okay, it's a little bit different than some of the older models where they come straight off the front. This one you pull a little bit forward, cock it up, and then it comes off the front, or comes off the top rather than off the front so much. And here again, we're going to take and remove our captured recoil spring. I'll put a little thumb pressure forward on it. That'll come out easy enough. And then we can push our barrel up a little bit and pull the barrel out. And there's your field stripped already. Just that simple. And with any typical handgun cleaner for semi-auto, we're going to come in here with a little solvent and to clean up the gunpowder and the carbon residue off of that. Wipe it down good with a good dry cloth and just a little bit of oil back on it. And even sometimes you may put a little grease on the tracks where the slide moves. Okay. Same thing with your barrel. You're going to come in with a solvent, clean out your barrel good. If you shot a lot, especially with some range practice time, you may shoot 500 or 1,000 rounds in it, and want to make sure that you follow with a good solvent to help dissolve some of that copper buildup, and then come back with your brush if you have to get the rifle cleaned out. And always follow up with a good lubrication behind it. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing with our frame. We'll come back into our frame here, clean out the carbon and powder residue that's going to accumulate, especially in the sear area, and also down in your part of your right where the magazine feeds into the feed ramp. I have a tendency to get a lot of buildup in there. All right, but you don't want to leave it wet. I wouldn't suggest having it very wet as far as lubrication goes when you're done with it. A little bit goes a long ways typically. Okay, so now stick a barrel back in it, lay it back in the top right here just like that. Pull back on it, locks it into our slide. We'll push our springs forward a little bit, and the capture spring fits into a nice cutout on the bottom of your barrel lug. When you put the slide back on this one, it's good to come in at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to catch the rear notches, bring it down to the front, and then push backwards. Just that simple. Alright, it's a little bit different than some of the older ones are, but once you get the hang of it, it's nothing to it, really. Alright. So anyway, that's kind of what we can do with our new Model 45 Glock. Some of the best features from your 17 and 19 combined into one gun here. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and if I can help you with something firearm wise, give us a call.